Hey everybody, it's Sam here. Thank you for watching today. So I was just sorting through some Christmas stamps and I came across this one here, which I'll show you shortly. I really like it, and I just had this idea of having a gift box using it, and the gift box was the rooftop. Of course, you don't have to have it decorated like I have. This could all be pattern paper. You don't have to add this piece at the back. You might want to add a handle, and it doesn't have to be for Christmas. But I had this idea and I just wanted to sit down, do a bit of colouring and make this unusual little sloped gift box. So let me show you how to make it. You're going to want a piece of 12 by 12 cardstock. And along one of the sides here, so if it's directional pattern paper, maybe you're not stamping on yours and you want it to face the right way up at this point. Along that 12-inch side, you're going to score at 3 and 9. And then you're going to rotate, and then along the other side, you're going to score at 3/4 of an inch, 3 1/2, 6 1/2, 9, and 10 3/4. Just going to say that again. So it's 3/4 of an inch, 3 1/2, 6 1/2, 9, and 10 3/4. Okay, you're then also going to want to cut yourself a piece of 6 by 7. And I've got this pattern paper that's going to go along the top, and this is 5 3/4 by 6 3/4. Okay, so that's everything you need there. So you can get rid of your scoreboard. Okay, so next you want to fold and burnish all of the score lines. Okay, so what's going to happen is that 3/4 of an inch tab, so here I scored at 3/4 of an inch, that is the front. This is kind of like the little flap. There's going to be Velcro behind this, and this is the sloped roof of the box. Everything else is kind of the back and the base. So I started stamping here, realised I stamped in the wrong place, but that's all going to be hidden. So what we want to do first of all, I'm going to do it in sections because I haven't made this at all yet. This is just me literally with an idea about a couple of hours ago. So you want to remove the 2 corner pieces. So, and I'm removing the score line. Okay, this is about a 220 GSM. It's the Crafts UK 12 by 12. I'm sure theirs is 220 GSM. And again, on this side, just removing those sections there. So we've got that tab. Now I think I'm going to end up probably putting a brown piece of cardstock over that as well to strengthen it. So what's going to happen is this other end piece is going to just go inside. It's just really going to act, I think, as a bit of support so that you don't see the gift straight away. It's just going to help, I think, stabilize the box. But you can see the shape we're going to have. This is actually the sides. We're going to cut all this away in a minute. This is then going to be stuck to the back, and I'm going to have my scene with the stamps and everything. So next I'm thinking we need to start cutting down all of these sections here. So hopefully, you know, whatever way you're making this, whether it's with pattern paper or you're stamping, you should be able to do it quite easily. So I'm just cutting down all of those. Now I think, again, we'll probably end up removing these. I just want to keep them there for the minute just to make sure in my head this is all going the right way. So again, I'm just cutting down all of those score lines just to that center one there. Okay, so now I can start to see, yeah, okay, yeah, so we do want to remove this end as well, so that's easy to follow. So just, it's almost like you've got a tab now at each end, but it's the 3/4 of an inch end that we want to keep. Then I want to decide which one of these I'm going to have completely covering the whole box side, because you are going to have to trim them, but I really wanted this shape, so we're going to make it work. So let me just decide. Yeah, I think what you're going to do is this large square. So you've got this solid square, so it's we've removed those pieces. There's a 3/4 of an inch end, so I'm going to just chop kind of about halfway, just over from those ones there. we're going to keep this one intact, and that's the one that I actually want to then stamp the rest of this design on. So it looks like the rooftop's going all the way around. And then these ones, we can also, I reckon, just cut a good half away there. Like so. I usually make 2 of everything, but I just want to make a lot of unusual gift packaging for Christmas, so I'm getting in early now, so I've got it all ready to go, and I don't really want to have more than, you know, 1 of everything. So okay, what is going to happen is this one here has to go down, but because it's on an angle, so we need to take a wedge, quite a substantial chunk off of here. Again, I'm going to lay this out flat in a minute. See what I've got there? So we've got this kind of winged section. So now you should, when you've taken that away, all of this here I'm going to end up covering, so I'm not too worried about how that looks right now. So these little ones can go in, that bottom one can go in because it's just going straight. That one, because it's going on an angle, so I need to actually still take a little bit more off. So take another piece again there. Yeah, I think this is how it's going to work. So let me just lay this all down now so you can see that whole shape. Okay, so you've got your 3/4 inch, and then you've got these winged sections. So take quite a substantial chunk, keep these intact, and then these ones just take a little bit off, and we've already removed those pieces there. Now before I stick it all together, I need to do some stamping. So this is all, we'll bring it around again. So this one is just going to go inside. You may decide you want to trim that or cut it away completely. This tab is actually going to stick against the second one, so not this one. This one just goes inside, just to, I thought it might have needed a bit more support. These then can all go in, and then that one is going to go there, but we're going to stick that, but we want to keep, yeah, so we're going to trim around this on an angle, but you want to keep that one, that's your tab, that's like the side of any gift box that you have, so that can slide in. Should be able to. Like I said, I am kind of winging this, but I think it's going to work. So what I'm going to do now is get that all squared off. I'm going to pop it this way, keep it all nicely, you know, in its shape, and then I'm just going to grab a pencil, and I can always trim into this again after. So I always do say watch the whole video first, or tutorial, because you can then, you know, change it up. So I'm just drawing around that end there, and I'm just going to trim that away like so. So now see, we get that lovely edge there, or end to our gift box, and that should, yeah, if we don't stick it all down, that would slide in there quite nicely, because it's going to be held there with Velcro. And any bits that are, once we do stick it all down, we can just trim that. So again, I'm just going to fold all of this end in, keeping it nice and shaped, and again just draw around like so. And again, just put that away. So depending on the direction and whether you're using directional pattern paper, I think I need to take a little bit off of here as well. Just a little bit, because it's just catching inside. So again, I'll lay that down flat so you can see again exactly what I've done. You might want to take a screenshot. So you've got your 3/4 inch. I've taken a nice wedge there. This angle here is the shape of the box, so you would have cut that according. Don't worry about this so much. We can sort all that out nearer the time, but I have then taken a little bit off of here. You might want to do that with those ones as well. But now, again, just test it all. That one, that one. Yeah. So I now want to start stamping. So it's this angle. So I'm going to fold these all under. I've already got my copy paper here from before. In fact, I'll use that piece so I don't get myself you know, all confused. So I have got a stencil for the roof, or the roof pattern, but I'll be completely honest, I've lost it. I've been looking everywhere for it and I cannot find it. Otherwise, you will just cover this now. Honestly, all I would do is I'd stick a slightly larger piece of pattern paper right over that space, and then I'd flip it over and then cut around it. Rather than trying to get your ruler out and work out all the angle and everything, it's just easier just to stick a whole piece over and cut it out. Now, this is the stamp that I've used, and this is from the scene building stamp set that I've got. So I'm just going to sit that down there. I'm using the Memento because I'm using my alcohol markers. And I'm just going to lay the first one down, just slightly go off the edge there. Like so. And then I'm going to do a few. They're all a little bit different, and then I just join up the other side. So I'm going to do this on both of the pieces. Okay, so you can see what I've done here. So I've coloured the sides there, stamped them, and I've also done this one here because I just thought it looked quite nice when you see it from the front. And I started sticking it down. I just keep checking my camera to make sure it's recording. So what you want to do is flip it over and bring up two of your sides. You're going to add glue. You can see where I've already done it on this one here. You're going to add glue all over the little square. I'm just going to bring that one around. So you can see there I've got a nice right angle. We're starting to get that side of our box. So again, on this side here, I already started adding some of the glue. Seems to be getting a bit bunged up. Let's just unblock that. There we go. No, I've got a bit more, but I've still got glue on there, so that'll be okay. And then again, I'm going to bring up this side, so I've got that nice right angle. Okay. Now this one then is going to stick over the top of that, so the one with the pattern. This one will end up sliding into there, so I think we will end up angling this side as well in a minute. So I'm going to now add my glue. I'm going to actually use the Kalau, I think, just to start to add a little bit of strength. So I'm just going to add the glue. So this is all kind of trial and error. Now don't worry if it's overhanging, because this you can trim away. So I've got a little bit overhanging there. I'm just going to flip that over this side. And just focus, I'd say at this point, focus on the bottom, making sure that lines up, because that means you've got it all on a nice angle. Just give that a minute to grab. Whilst that's doing its thing, I'm going to put some glue on this end here. Again, just make sure the base all lines up. Okay, so I've got more hanging over the edge here, so I'm just going to go in with my scissors there. Just snip that away. I might just snip the corner there we go, like so. And then I've got a little bit on this one, but not too much. And then I'm just going to use my original alcohol marker there and just get rid of that white that you can see. You could distress this as well if you're colouring it. You could put your ink pad straight onto the corners of that if you wanted to. But I'm really pleased. I think that's going to look pretty cool. So remember, that's just in there just to add some strength. I will end up just decorating inside there, cutting some paper the same size as these areas. By the time there's tissue paper in there, I'm really not too worried. But now we want this to slide in, and it will slide in so far. So as far as you can get it, I would then pop a little pencil mark where that mark is. And now what you can do is cut from there. I'm going to cut a little bit away from it and then cut up to that there. So now that should, I think it's still drying in there. Let me just make sure that's secure. There we go. I'm also going to take a little wedge off of here. There we go. So now it just goes in. And once we've got the Velcro, you just get a nice finish there. No one can see the gift. If you didn't have this piece on, if you just cut it off completely, the likelihood is that it would just slightly, it would be open like this and you're just seeing that holds it all together. I'm really liking it. It's starting to really come together. Don't worry about the back, unless you're not going to add the next piece that I will in a minute. That's all going to be hidden. So again, with this one, I'm just going to slide it in. So hopefully with me doing this, it also shows you kind of like the process. A lot of people are like, how do you make gift boxes? How do you even begin? This is what I do a lot of the time, is I just play around, and usually you'd see one that I've already done, but I don't want to have two of everything. I just want to try and have quite a lot of just different boxes to give to people. So now, yeah, there we go. That works really well. That's going to have a plain brown strip on there in a moment. So then I can grab this piece now, and I'm going to stick this onto that back section there. So I'm just going to add my glue all over here. And then just going to sit that over the back. And then I've got this scene here. This is from my Christmas paper pad. This one here. I don't know if there's any left actually, I'm not sure. But there's also the rooftop papers there as well, which is this one. So you could also stick that one on the back. But I wanted the stars because I wanted to use the stamp set that I've got there. So I'm just going to add my glue to this piece here. You could also add a handle to this. You could make it into like a unusual gift bag. I think that could look quite nice actually. But there you have it. And then I've got these pieces here, which I have stamped and coloured, all from that stamp set there. So I'm going to trim one of these down a little bit shorter. So I've got them at two different heights, and I've used the same colour pen that I've used to colour all of this, so everything matches. And then that one's going to be there, and I'm going to pop that all on some foam. So I've just cut, using my funky alphabet, I've used ho ho ho. I'm going to have along the top here, so you should be able to see that quite well. And what I've done, so I've used a felt foam in the red there, and then I've die cut again in the white and just offset it. So when you sit it on here, that white pops against that rooftop design. So I'm going to have ho, ho, ho. I thought that was quite appropriate. And then I've got room on the back to be able to write to and from. But these will all be for family members, and they'll be going under my tree because I'm hosting Christmas again this year. So yeah, I think that's really good. So I'm going to get those stuck down. Okay, so I've just stuck that all down. I'm just adding 3 pairs of hook and loop there. I've stuck this piece, which is 3/4 by 6, and then you can see that's stuck down there, but I've just paired them up there. You could put a hole punch here if you would prefer. It's entirely up to you. So I'm just letting them kind of grab, and then I can just carefully prise each one apart like so, and then you can really push them down. Like I said, I'll tidy up inside nearer the time. I may well not even bother. People know it's handmade, so I'm not too worried. And like I said, this is going to go to family. But there you have it. I think this has come out even better than I thought. I absolutely love it. So I hope you've enjoyed this sloped gift box idea from me today. I think there's loads of scope on this. You don't have to have this. You could add a handle to the back, pattern paper over the top. But I just had this idea, and I just think it works really well with this stamp set. It's a really great size as well. You've got lots of room and get a gift card in here, you know, sweet treats, things like that. They'd even make, as I always say with most of these smaller kind of boxes, nice little table favours as well. So there you have it. I hope you liked this gift box idea from me today. I will link as much of the product that I've used today in the description box below. Check out the videos that are coming up now. I might just link the ones that I use in this stamp set as well, in case you've got it and you want a bit more inspiration. And if you haven't subscribed and you've enjoyed today, please subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell, and then you'll be notified every time I upload a new video. See you all again soon. Take care. Bye.